What you doing?
Ran out of space on my phone, so I'm deleting some stuff. Bye, singing dog. Bye, goal.
I pronounce you.
Bye, wedding ceremony.
Stop. At Metro PCS, you get 2 free phones with twice as much memory.
Really?
Don't say bye to your memories. Switch to Metro PCS and get 2 free LG K20 Plus phones with 32 gigs when you switch 2 lines. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figured out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included in phone price. Excludes numbers on the T-Mobile network. See store for details and terms and conditions.
It's the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast with the Enforcer.
I believe they call them enforcers, Gordon. I sell women's shoes.
And the Stallion.
Stallion, baby! I am not what you would call a handsome man. I'll kick you in the nuts and you'll smile at me and like it. Oh, nice.
Welcome to another edition of the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast. We are your host. I am the Enforcer. He is the Stallion, and we are back for yet another week now. Welcome back.
I can't believe it either.
Ratings are through the roof. People are clamoring for some more All Night Long Wrestling Podcasts, and we are here to give back to those that give to us. Just going to sit there and ask,
Who are those people?
I'm wondering the same thing. But anyway, listen, more importantly, we got a huge show this week, better than we have any right in having. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We're going to have some recap of this weekend's big events, NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3 and WWE's SummerSlam. And also, we are very privileged to have former the guy's been everywhere. Former WWE superstar, former TNA superstar, current New Japan Pro Wrestling superstar, Lance Archer, also known as Lance Hoyt, back in Impact Wrestling, on our show later on today. So I'm thrilled. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's very exciting when we have guests on the show.
I feel like the guests like us more than our listeners do.
Yeah, I think that there's merit in that statement for sure. So
we've had on our show in a very short amount of time, All Ego, Ethan Page, Keith Lee, Casey Carlisle,
Beer City
Bruiser,
SoCal
Val. So,
there is another one. Thunder Rosa was on
our show. I mean, these are like big name people listening to us, and why are they coming on our show?
I don't know. I mean, there's not a whole lot of money being exchanged. So it's very nice of them to do that.
Yeah, and we sincerely appreciate it. Give it back to the people that give. So let's quickly get into it. We have about, I would say, about 20 minutes before we hope to hear from Lance Archer. So let's hop right into NXT. NXT Brooklyn. I think everybody kind of had some hopes for this show, high hopes especially. We'll start off at the top. The first match of the night was Johnny Gargano against Andrade Cien Almas. Run that back. Who won that match?
Andrade Cien Almas won the match.
That's what I thought. We're looking at some slunker. I thought I was crazy.
If you're looking at the Wikipedia right now for Takeover Brooklyn 3, all of the match results are reversed. So it's a good thing that we've noticed this, because if you look at Wikipedia right now, it shows that the winners were actually the losers in the match. So
somebody's a real dick.
Yeah, cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Dick
cheeseburger, or whatever the kids say. We should get Cheeseburger on the show. Anyway, let's get back to the recap here. I think you and I were split on this one. I feel like Johnny Gargano needed a win, and you said Almas was going to win, and you were right. However, Zelina Vega did not have as much of a role in this match as you had anticipated.
I think she played a part in the finish. So she threw what was a DIY T-shirt at Johnny Gargano.
That was her?
That was her. Yep.
Damn it, I suck. I remember he had the shirt and he looked at it.
Yeah, I didn't really get it picked up on camera. I think that it was a DIY shirt, but I guess just the color of it, whatever it was. So They had a really good match going, though, for a while, and that was towards the end. She threw the shirt at Gargano's face. It distracted him, and then Almas ended up hitting his finisher and getting the win.
Really good match, really good fast pace, super duper strong opener. And Johnny Gargano got himself into some insane shape. I got to give him that credit. He's a great looking guy. He's got life by the tail right now. He's married. Is he married to Candice LeRae?
I believe they are married.
They are married, man. He's out there, Johnny Wrestling, man. He's all American. He's like Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel was good at anything. Yeah, okay. Next was Sanity. Interesting. I thought it was going to be Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane. However, it turned out to be Alexander Wolf and Eric Young taking on the Authors of Pain. This was a fantastic match. Three very big men and EY, who was no small man. And these guys, man, they put on one hell of a show. They told a great story. I love the interference from Nikki Cross at one spot where the Authors of Pain were about to suplex powerbomb EY, and then Nikki Cross held his leg so they couldn't. I think Akam wound up powerbombing Razor. And then I would say the last 6 minutes were just a crazy sprint. I thought it was a great match. Yeah,
I think it was much better than certainly I expected it to be. I don't know if everyone else's expectations were the same or not, but I wasn't expecting a whole lot out of this match. Both teams were kind of booked as heel teams, or they have been booked that way since they've been in NXT. But the crowd definitely took to Sanity, I think, and them winning the titles was something I certainly wasn't expecting, but it was definitely a very good match and exceeded the expectations that I had for it.
I'm a huge mark for the Alexander Wolf, by the way. That dude, I think he really shined in this match. But I will tell you, you and I watched this together the other night, and right around the end of the match, EY gets the pin on the jumping blockbuster back suplex combo. They replayed the highlights, and I sat on the edge of my seat with bated breath, as they say. And sure enough, buddy, I jumped around like a young Everlast in the House of Pain video once the two-man smash machine, the best team on God's green, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, formerly, possibly futurely known as Red Dragon, hit the ring and decimated everybody. They threw the Authors of Pain into the Killian Dane went into the steps. The Authors of Pain got tossed into the ring post. Alexander Wolf got hit with it was a kind of a high-low. I don't think I've ever seen him do that before. It was Bobby Fish's fish hook with a spinning back kick from Kyle O'Reilly and chasing the dragon on Eric Young. And the crowd went nuts, buddy. Don't tell me that the WWE can't put on a show in a big arena with NXT, because NXT was 3 times as loud as SummerSlam, as SmackDown, and as Raw for professional wrestling, not for some BS spots or not for some stupid gimmick actor or something like that. 4 great wrestling matches, the Barclays Center blew the roof off.
They did. It's true. I don't know whether it's a combination of different things, perhaps better booked storylines, and more entertaining wrestlers in ring, or how the matches are being laid out. Maybe different set of fans that are going to NXT versus maybe some of the main roster stuff, or whatever the shorter show versus a longer show, whatever the reasons are. That comes off as a very hot crowd for these shows, the NXT shows, regardless of really where they are, but Brooklyn especially. And the matches that get put on, and I'll wait till we're done to the recap, but I was able to read through all of the King David Meltzer ratings for these matches, in addition to the SummerSlam ones, and I'll read those out.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
I'll read those out to you after we finish the recap here. But all the matches come off really, really well, in ring and with the crowd and the atmosphere and all that stuff. So, good on them for doing it. These are the shows I look forward to the most in terms of when pay-per-view or major events, and they've consistently done a good job. And this. The debut of Red Dragon as a team.
So awesome. God, it was awesome. It was well done. They came out and basically laid waste to everybody and, put themselves right in the mix for the tag titles. And I believe we're taping this on a Thursday.
So I think they're doing NXT tapings for TV tonight.
They did, yeah.
So we'll see what the next steps are for them and another gentleman that we'll start talking about in a few minutes here as we kind of finish up the NXT recap.
Percy Watson?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, good.
The one.
Next match was Aleister Black.
Kiwi.
Wow. No. Next match was Aleister Black taking on Hideo Itami. Aleister Black got the superstar entrance of the Code Orange and Incendiary vocalist to do his theme song. I thought it was awesome. Really set the tone. And these guys had a really good match. It looks like at some point Aleister Black broke his nose. Am I wrong?
It looked that way.
Yeah.
He was busted, and his nose looked a little weird.
Yeah,
so.
I thought it was another strong match from them, but I'll tell you, I mean, for anybody listening, about 15 seconds before the finish of the match, you looked at me and you go, it's going to be one of those things where he takes a beating and then you have a spinning kick out of nowhere. And surely, like, by the end, you're finishing that sentence, he had hit the, what do they call it? I'm sorry.
Black Mass.
Black Mass, and that was it. But I thought it was a good match. I would say Aleister Black did not get in that much offense, though. I think it was mostly Itami.
It was definitely a longer match than Black has been working. I mean, I know he worked a little bit longer of a match with Hero Cassius Ohno. Yeah.
Oh, no.
And he had matches with Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly individually that lasted maybe around 10 minutes that were kind of similar, but this was probably one of his longer matches and more competitive matches, going with Itami and them doing a lot of their strikes or kickboxing type things that are happening in that match. So, but, again, it was a good match, I thought, and Black winning was, I think, something we all expected to happen, but it's the right thing because he's kind of getting the big push down there. He hasn't been defeated yet.
Yep, another strong match. Ember Moon versus Asuka for the NXT Women's title. I think we both thought Ember Moon was going to take the title here. We both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of thought you're going to see Asuka on Sunday night at SummerSlam. No, apparently you cannot beat Asuka. It's like playing Goro in Mortal Kombat, the difficulty all the way
so
up.
Frustrating.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you. You jump kick, get back, freeze, jump kick. It took me like hours and hours and hours. You're not going to beat Asuka. Ember Moon hit her with everything but the kitchen sink, including the lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, black eclipse.
I think it's the eclipse, I believe is what it's called.
It's not like the lunar eclipse? Or the...
I don't think so. I'll check on that for you.
Yeah, can we Google Ember Moon's finisher? We're just going to... It is the eclipse. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. On the Independence, it was apparently called the O-Face. Anybody who saw Office Space, that's
that one coming.
It took a turn to negative down. No, but I don't think Asuka's going to lose in NXT. There's nobody left for her to beat unless it's the winner of the Mae Young Classic, who I do not know who that's going to be. I'm trying to keep it that way because I don't know the results of anything.
Right, and they taped up to the finals, right? So they have the finals set, but obviously nothing's aired yet on the network. It's supposed to start releasing some of the episodes on the 28th, which is this coming Monday. And I think that's the only real option at this point that I could see is the winner of that tournament getting a shot at Asuka and then potentially beating her before she maybe moves on to a main roster spot. I don't know. I like Ember Moon. I thought they've had 2 good matches together on these takeover specials. I wouldn't have had any issue if Ember Moon won, but to go back to it a third time, I think might be tough from a storyline perspective. Not that they just can't do whatever they want anyway, but
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
For me, I think the person to beat Asuka should be Nikki Cross. I think she's very over with the crowd. She's a very strong worker. She's great in the ring. And people really like her. I think that's something they can get behind, and you could even turn Asuka heel and have Nikki Cross face, because I believe they're kind of eyeing Sanity as a face team now. That's the way it seemed, at least, when Red Dragon came in and beat the tar out of them on Saturday. So, the main event of the night, Drew McIntyre versus champion, the glorious one, Bobby Roode. Not to be negative, but for me, I thought this was probably the weakest match of the night. I feel like it was very slow and longer than it really needed to be. I like both these guys individually, but Bobby Roode his matches to me have been somewhat underwhelming in NXT. I'm a big fan of the gimmick. Everybody loves the gimmick, but to me, his matches they've been missing something. McIntyre, I do like him a lot. I'm a big fan of his work, and I think putting the title on him was the right move, especially considering what happened afterwards and following. And why don't you tell us what happened?
Yeah. So, so they had their match, and McIntyre ended up winning the title, which I think both of us thought it was probably too early for that to happen, but it did happen, and obviously,